I'm Manira Gandhi, and you're watching the Gabur Inc. Connectivity Issue Series and how we leverage Google Cloud Platform to resolve this. As you remember, Gabur Inc. has multiple enterprise to store connections, and these connections are used to exchange information and very critical to the customer's business. We have a script that automatically checks these connections and logs if there are any issues going on. So this log file is what is going to be our input data or data source to predict connectivity issues. The solution is going to be using Google Data Prep. We would modify the data that's coming in and take that data, apply a couple of approaches and couple of algorithms to find the best suited machine learning algorithm to predict the connection failures. One of my previous videos on my channel has the Google's data prep approach and how we modify this file. So if you are interested, please go check that out. This particular video is one of our approach building the machine learning algorithm using BigQuery and using BigQuery machine learning. As you see, once we have this big machine learning model built, this will definitely help us predict the connectivity issues, prevents loss of business, and helps reduce cost. With that, let's go to our Google Cloud Platform. So as you see, this is my Google Cloud console, and I have log analysis as my project, and log data is a data set that I've created underneath. So for loading the data, I'm going to go ahead and create a table and use the file that I have that I downloaded or basically downloaded using the data prep. And this file is also on Google's storage bucket, but I'm going to use the file that's sitting on my hard drive. So I have this file, Gabur log data. And as you see, we have the project name, the data set name. I'm going to put the table name as Google log data results. And then I'm going to do an auto detect on the schema and create a table. So once the table is created, we can look at the table and see the schema definition, which looks good. We have our date time, our source IP and destination IP. We have our ICPM, port and results. So we have a good amount of, I'm gonna go ahead and just do a quick check on how it looks like. And let's look at some of the values that we have here. So as you see, we have our date time and our result set, which is listening or not listening or success or not success. Now I'm gonna add a field called random weight. And this field I'm adding to split my data set into training, evaluation, and testing data set. So as you see, we have added a field called random weight. And using some of my saved queries, I'm going to update this random weight with an integer, float, with a float between 1 to 10, and it's going to randomly add that float to the records. So I'm going to run this update query. And if I go back to my table and query table with results and random weight, we will see that each record has a random weight associated with it. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to create a view, which is going to be our input view for our BigQuery machine learning model. What does this view do is, this view selects all the records from our table log data result. And what it does is it creates another field called data frame. And this data frame is split into where random weight, if it's less than 8, then it's training. If it's equal to 8, then it's evaluation. And if it's more than 8, then it's a prediction. So that's how it's going to split our records or data set. So I'm going to go ahead and run this view and let the view create. And as you see, the view has been created. We'll just do a quick query on the view. And I'm just going to do select star so you can see the whole view. And as you see, we have the date time, the training predictions, and I'm going to go ahead back to my saved queries actually and do one thing, which is I've forgotten the source IP. Why that happened, but that's awesome. We got it early on. So we created so it's a create or replace view. So it will replace the view that we just created, but let's query the view again. And as you see, I'm going to just do select star again. And you will see our source IP is there, our destination IP is there, our result set is there. And the result set, it has the training and prediction. Now look at my view definition one more time just to make sure that I have everything correct. Awesome. So yeah, it looks good. So you have the record split into correctly. Now I'm going to go ahead and build my model. So I'm going to go back into the saved queries, and I have a model query. So we're going to go ahead and use this model, logistic regression. So this, as you see, it builds a model, and it is building a model type of logistic regression. This prediction is whether it's listening or not listening, or successful or not successful. So that's why it's a classification problem. So we are using logistic regression. And as you see, it's building the model based on our input view, which is our input data source, and it's using only the records that are equal to training. So that's the split of our record, and it's going to go ahead and I'm going to run this and build our model. It will take about 20-30 seconds, so I'm going to pause the video for a few seconds. So as you see now that the model creation has been completed, it took about 26.5 seconds. The model is complete. And as you see, there's our model here. It's a logistic regression model. Now to evaluate, I'm going to start with my evaluation query. And I'm going to bring that evaluation query on this. So if you see, it's using ml.evaluate. It's going to evaluate our model that we just built. And it's going to use the same input view as the data set. And it's going to use the records that are labeled as data frame equals evaluation. And once we run this, we will see that our model is built. And as you see, the accuracy is obviously 0.93, which is a very good accuracy. We have our precision, recall, and F1 score all listed here. And this is really a good model. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to run a prediction query to see how it predicts. So what it does is, again, so we are using the same, basically our model that we just created. We are using ml.predict. And as you see, everything is listed as a SQL query. We are using the data set that we gave, the input view. And now this time we are using the data frame equals prediction. So we are using our prediction data set. And we're going to run this. And as you see, ta-da, our model has predicted, and it looks pretty good. So as you see, this particular record, the result was success, and it has built a success. The prediction probability was success with a 0.9 probability. So that looks pretty good. And this particular record, the result set was listening. And as you see, the predicted result is also listening, and it has a data set of a probability of zero point 0.9. So that looks really good. So now we can use this data set that we just generated or we just got and build a data set using Visual Studio, or sorry, Data Studio as well. And we can go ahead and get started on Data Studio and see how our prediction looks like. So I'm gonna go ahead and authorize and see how that data set looks like. Okay, for the moment, I think we'll stick to our BigQuery, and I will create a next video where we can show how to explore this data in the data studio. Anyways, until then, you see our model is created. We have a good prediction rate or accuracy, and we have a good prediction probability. So our job is done. We have a working model, and this we can use and help our team predict the connectivity issues. So thank you all for watching the video or watching the BigQuery ML use case, and hope you enjoy it. And please keep looking at the channel for more videos. Thank you.